That trial 7 years ago was the beginning of it all. I guess it's frozen right there, so I'll just say, hello everyone, Triple S back here with some more apologists, Ace Attorney. Now this section is called the Mason System section, I think it is. And I'm not joking right now, it's probably going to be the longest part of any Ace Attorney game ever. It could potentially, depending on how fast I get through it, it could take between like an hour and a half to 2 hours. That's how long this is. I don't think there's any to be continued like midway or anything. It's just one really long section, which is kind of broken up into like different parts, but still it's like one massive long section. So let's just go. This I know beyond a doubt. The mysteries of the past work their magic on the present. But you'll soon be finding all of this out for yourself. Which of Magnifi Grammari's disciples pulled that trigger? Where did the vanishing defendant Zach Grammari go? What dark truth lurks behind the forged diary page? And what about the girl who was left behind? Mason system loading. Okay, the past left us these 4 keys to unlocking the truth. That's not all. There are 4 keys in the present as well. When all the questions have found their answers, the final trial will begin. But first you must chase the truth through then and now. Think of it as a game. I, Phoenix Wright, will be your guide through this game. That terrible trial saw me present forged evidence. It ended half finished when the defendant vanished. What became of me after that? As the investigation proceeds, the answer will become clear. Oh, and one more thing. There is something I must tell you. As Apollo Justice has his bracelets, so too do I have my own weapon of sorts. My Magatama. What does it do, you ask? That I would have you see for yourself. Well now, shall we begin? Touch the arrow to switch between past and present. But let's begin 7 years ago in the past. It is right after my last trial came to an abrupt end. Now that you know the game, let's play. That's kind of what I'm doing right now, let's play. So the first thing I guess we're doing is detention center. The nightmare trial was over, and the new nightmare of figuring out what had happened had just begun. I wanted to wake up to walk away, but I figured I'm the only one who could do this, probably. But besides, I had plenty of time, thanks to the Bar Association Review Board's decision. It's hard to work when your attorney's badge has been taken away. 7 years ago, Detention Centre Visitors' Room. What strange sight doth mine eyes behold? Excuse me? 2 men on either side of a single transparent pane. Yet it seems fickle fate to switch sides, so to speak. The forger of fakes walks freely, while the innocent languishes within these plexiglass confines. There's been no proof that I forged anything, nor proof that I took the life of my dear mentor. Yet, these chains cannot hold me for long. The stage awaits. And what, may I ask, awaits you? A little piano in a cold little hole in the wall. Yep. But since you are here, what shall we discuss? The shooting of Magnifi Grammari for one. Who pulled that trigger, Valance or his partner Zach? His partner vanished before the answer could be found. If I'm going to get any closer to the truth, this is the place to start. So, let's have a chat. The fateful trial. I have to hand it to my partner. He knows how to make an exit. That's talent. Yes, he made my attorney's badge disappear and he never even touched it. Glory spotlight always leaves someone weeping in the shadows. Yet his very disappearance is itself a revelation. Revealing what? Zach Grammari killed Magnifi. It's as good as a signed confession. That's certainly been public opinion's take on it. I grow tired of my cage, and the time of my release is near. I must go and prepare. Planning on jumping back into the magic right away? As long as an audience waits with bated breath, there will be Valance. And also, yes, now that my partner has disappeared, Magnifi's repertoire is mine. Voltaic Grammari has a tradition to uphold. Is that true? Seen in this light, the trial was quite good to me, verdict or no. And you can't pay for that kind of publicity. Blackmail. Suspicion on you hasn't lifted entirely, Valant. After all, you received one of those letters too. You were just as obligated to follow Monetis's instructions as your partner. So I was, but only Zach Grammar I followed them. Let's not speak any more of who shot what. Now that my partner has vanished, the question is moot. I'm more interested in learning something else actually. What might that be? I want to know what Magnifi had up his sleeve. How could he coerce you and your partner to kill him? The trick up his sleeve? Perhaps you do not know. Know what? The great magician never reveals his secrets. Ah, damn it. 1, 2, 3, 4. I didn't think it would be that easy. The audience must remain forever in the audience, bathing in the reflected glow of the spotlight. My Magatama, one of my most prized possessions, which I got during a certain case, it can show me the locks on people's hearts. And if I can unlock their hearts, they'll tell me their secrets. The Magatama starts it all. Ah, I need an itch. Ah, the Magatama ends it. Oh, there we go. Okay, so we're done here. So we end search. And now we go to defendant lobby number 2. 7 years ago, District Court, defendant lobby number 2. Didn't think I'd be back here for a while. I didn't want to have to remember that day. Though I deeply regret having to declare a verdict in this way, this trial is over. Ah, Your Honour. Yes, Mr. Zack? There is one thing I wish to make clear. Today in this courtroom, you cannot declare me guilty. What are you talking about? I am talking about this! Mr. Enigma! The defendant's escaped! Find him, quick! Bailiff, close all exits from the building. On the double, he must not be allowed to escape. When I came here on that fateful morning, I still had my badge, but now, like an amputated limb, I can still feel it itching. Where do I start? I don't even have the authority to investigate. Hey, you there, sir! What are you doing here? Down the hands! Floor your head! Now, now, now! What's the big idea? My ears! My unauthorized personnel... No, my. Why did I say my? No unauthorized personnel are allowed in here. Did I say my? I don't know. But that wouldn't mean all unauthorized personnel are allowed. Zoink! I just say it like it is, sir. And it's usually wrong. Thrown out of the precincts, lost my friends, my girl, and even my wallet. We've met before, haven't we? On a case, 2 years ago. No recollection of that, sir. Huh? For me, working on a case is always in the present progressive tense, sir. There is no past, there is only now, sir. Okay, you're the bailiff, right? Yes, sir, Court Bailiff Mike Meekins at your service, sir. I've asked to meet with the bailiff at this court who let the magician escape. Let me try to make this as absolutely clear as possible for you, sir. It was me, sir. But you were a regular police officer once, right? Sometimes bad things happen to good people, sir. Something tells me it's a long story. Let's not go there. So, you were in charge of security at the time of the vanishing? I'm dying over here. Oh, it's a hard knock life, sir. Thrown out the precincts, lost my friends, my girl, and even my wallet. Guess I wasn't the only victim. God damn it, man. First you messed up during the Rise from the Ashes, and then you messed up with Edgeworth, and now here. Okay, let's have a chat with this guy. Meekins, the last time we met, you're a police officer, right? In fact, you're still wearing your uniform. Sir, I wish I didn't have to tell you this. The last year tragedy struck, a rising star at the precinct. I lost my case files 4 times in 3 days. They fired me. That takes real talent, actually. They don't know what they're missing. So here I am, sir, forced to start from square one, a lowly bailiff. But your uniform? I took it with me as a souvenir the day I was fired. That can't be legal. So, you were the one who let the magician get away that day. I'm dying over here. The star rises among the court bailiffs, full of hope, then tragedy strikes. Is there anything you can tell me about it? About Zach Grammarai's disappearance? Oh, the humanity! That's enough of that. The magician's disappearance. Why yes, I'd say it was around 2 PM when I heard a commotion in court. I opened the door to see what might be amiss. The door slams open, slam, and some guy's face is right there in front of me. Face! So you saw someone suspicious coming your way. Yep, and I, being a bailiff of little standing, I gave chase. I chased that silk cat all the way down the hall, sir. I have a diagram of the court building here. There's courtroom number 7. That's where I was, sir. All by myself, never a friend to call my own. Okay, and which way did Zach Grandma run after bursting through the courtroom door? He went up like this, and around the corner like that. So I, with no delay, ran after him with no delay. When I turned the corner, I saw that magic man run into the defendant lobby. Swiftly I ran. Following him, I threw myself boldly into the room. I remember it like it was right here, because it was lobby number 2, sir. You ran into this room? I don't see any place to hide in here. Believe it or not, sir, I didn't believe it. Here in this room, the magician, gone, vanished like a puff of smoke. Except there wasn't even any smoke, he was just gone. That's impossible. Yes, that word. Oh, how many times have I said that word? Even the sound of it causes me indescribable pain. I'm dying over here. Okay, I won't say it again, promise. But you have to admit, it's difficult to vanish into thin air. Did you search the lobby? I searched. Why the pause? There was nothing here at all, sir. That's right, nothing was here, sir. How can he talk so loud and still be hiding something? The vanishing trick. So Zach was in this room when he vanished. Absolutely, sir. I saw him with my own eyes. Eyes! That red silk hat, that flowing cape. He ran right in here, right inside this room. Silk hat, cape. That's Zach, alright. So look at the room. There's not a single place to hide. Sir, there was nothing I could do, but nothing, sir. What about now? Have any ideas? Sir! Ideas about what exactly, sir, if you don't mind me asking? You've had quite a bit of time since then. Has nothing occurred to you at all? Do you have any idea what trick he might have used to disappear like that? Damn it. 1, 2. Psycholox. I should have known. Well, we're done here. End the search. Let's go to the offices. 7 years ago, Wright & Co. Law Offices. Oh, morning, Daddy. Ah, I'm so glad you came. You okay, Daddy? They picking on you? I am fine, as always. This old boy is here to help me, after all. That's young man to you. Good morning. That's a cute outfit you have on. Thanks. My first show's today, after all. 2 weeks had passed since then. I called her into my office. Trucy, there's something we need to talk about. It's been 2 weeks since your father disappeared. We need to start thinking about your future. I did some calling around, this is hard to say, but you have no living relatives. So, I was wondering if you wanted to stay with me for a while. Just until your daddy comes home. Won't be long. I hope. Of course, it's totally your choice. If you don't like it here, you can go wherever you'd like. I could look up some places you might like to stay at. This is so weird. Mr. Attorney, Daddy told me about you. He said I could trust you. Huh? Really? So if I stay here, does that mean you'll be my family? Huh? I guess so. Getting weirder. Mr. Attorney. Actually, why don't you call me Nick? Or you can call me Daddy if you'd like. It doesn't have to be today or anything. Okay, say Daddy. That was quick. Yes? If I move here, I have to switch schools, right? And I was thinking I haven't paid for lunches at my last school for a year. So thanks, Daddy. Oh, and this office? It's a little blah. A little colour goes a long way, you know. Oh, and Daddy, you got fired from work, right? Don't you worry one bit. I'll work twice as hard. We'll make it through this. Trucy, how old are you? Go on, mate. Don't let appearances deceive you. I'm a young professional. Stick with me and you'll do just fine, Daddy. Thanks. Why does it feel like she's already in charge? I guess we're talking to her. The office. So, Daddy, you got fired from being a lawyer, right? You could at least kind of look aside or something when you say that. It's actually kind of hard for me, for Daddy. Oh, I'm sorry, Daddy. Wait, is that foolish pride? My other daddy always used to talk about that. Actually, that's pretty accurate. So here's my idea. We'll make a new office. Law just seems so stiff, doesn't it? And no one will be my friend at school that way. Well, that won't do, I guess. Just don't know much about anything other than law. Or even much about law, if you were to ask some people. Maybe the problem is calling it an office. We should run an agency instead. You mean, like a talent agency? Forgive me for asking, but doesn't that require talent? You've got me, don't you? I'm a professional. Yeah. A professional? Yep. After all, I am directly descended from the famous Zach Grammari. Directly descended? He's your father. Oh. And I'm directly descended from the famous Phoenix Wright too. I think an 8-year-old just massaged my ego. Daddy. Could you tell me a bit more about your daddy, Zach Grammari? Daddy? Sure thing, Daddy. Which daddy was that again? Daddy's so amazing. The biggest star of Troop Grammari. And they're big. The Grammarites. They're on television a lot. Haven't seen them on much recently, come to think of it. Big magic happens when you put Zach and Voltaic Grammari together, you know? Once they made a giant waterfall right there on the stage. And this giant trout swam up the giant waterfall. Let me guess, there was a giant fisherman waiting for him at the top. I wish I could have seen more of Daddy's magic. I shouldn't have brought it up so soon. Wonder what'll happen to me with Daddy and Mummy both gone. Mummy? Yeah, what about Mummy? I haven't heard anything about Trucy's mother. But I have my magic, and a great Daddy, even if he is unemployed. You know, I think things are going to be okay. I wonder if she'll talk about her mother. The professional. So Trucy, you're a professional. Yep, it's like that thing they say. Baby frogs grow up to be frogs. They say that? I always thought it was funny though. What was? Aren't baby frogs called tadpoles? Maybe they thought it would be easy to understand that way for kids. How stupid. Right, so in conclusion, you're a professional magician, Trucy. That's right. Well, want to see a trick? You're going to do a magic trick? Yeah, show me. Actually, I would like to see your trick. The future of the agency depends on it, after all. That's the spirit. Ready? Here goes. Ta-da! It's Mr. Hat! Hey folks, it's Mr. Hat. I gotta say, it's good to be seen. Yeah! Whoa, that was startling. The amazing Mr. Hat, isn't he great? Your friendly neighbourhood Mr. Hat at your service. He certainly makes an impression. Doesn't he? I'm so glad you like him, Daddy. Though my routines do get a bit heady at times. Get it, heady? My friendly neighbourhood Mr. Hat nearly gave me a heart attack. The amazing Mr. Hat added to the court record. And the last one, Mummy. Could you tell me about your mummy, if it's okay? Mummy was so pretty. She was like an angel up on stage. On stage? You mean with your daddy? Yep. She was always there with Zach and Volant smiling. But then she went away. Went away? It was a grand illusion, but she made a mistake. She vanished, and I guess she didn't know how to get back. Maybe so. I cried then, a lot. That's when Daddy gave me this, here. This is your mother? She's beautiful. Her name's Thalassa Grammari. Poor girl, I didn't know her mummy had gone missing. And now her daddy's vanished too, right before our eyes. Hey Daddy, you won't. Don't worry, I won't vanish, I promise. Right, you can't even do magic. You're like a backup plan. Daddy always said to have a backup plan. I guess all I rate is as a backup plan. Trucy's locket adds a scorecard. I think that's probably enough for today. Sorry to ask you so much all at once like that. It's okay, after all, we're family. Just hope you're ready. The Right Talent Agency opens tomorrow. What? But are we representing anyone? Me and you. That makes two, Daddy. I think you do more than that to make an agency. Besides, you may be a magician, but I'm no talent. No, I'm sure there's something you're good at. Well, when you put it that way. You mean you don't have any tricks? No old standbys? This will not do. A boy should always have a trick or two in his pocket. Okay, I'll think of something. That's the spirit. See you bright and early tomorrow, Daddy. Welcome to the team, Daddy-o. The team. Right. Sometimes when magicians vanish, they leave something behind. That's how Trucy became Trucy Wright, my daughter. To be honest, I was pretty lost those first few days. Thinking back on it, it was a pretty dark time in my life. But Trucy, happy, smiling Trucy, she was my light. So her original name was Trucy Enigma. And that's done! We actually completed one of them. So now we're doing To-Do Studio. And I'm just going to amend my guide here. Okay. True Studio, 7 years ago. I figured you'd come here sooner or later. Oh, hello. Decided on sooner. Drew Misham, was it? I haven't done anything illegal. And I didn't come here to whine about past events. I want to ask you some questions. I suppose you have that right. That day, the entire court descended into chaos. Only you stood still, your eyes calmly watching. I admit, it made quite an impression on me. I'm used to finding myself in outrageous situations. Phoenix right, was it? I'll answer what I can. I'm not sure, but it feels like I'm being watched intensely. Oh, younger. Oh, this is my daughter. Vera, say hello. No, she's gone. She's gone. I just said that. Shall we begin then? Okay, let's have a chat with Mr. Measham. Judging from this place, you're a painter? Not, sadly, a profitable one. I've never sold a painting. It's a source of considerable embarrassment. We'll be able to get by were it only me. Your daughter? Her mother grew weary of me and left. I don't want her to grow up needy, Mr. Wright. That is why I began my other occupation. Forgeries. Damn, that was quick. Forgeries. Don't look at me with those eyes. I know what it is that I do. More than half of the paintings they bring me are stolen. And who knows what my copies are used for. But some of your works aren't paintings, correct? You may not believe me when I tell you this, but that was my first work outside painting. What? To think it would be used as evidence in a murder trial. Never even imagined the possibility. Why did you take the job? I was well paid. Very well paid. I think he feels worse about it than I do. The past is hard to escape. Honestly, the sooner I can put this behind me, the better. With apologies to you, of course. Sorry, but it's not going to be quite so easy. He's trying to forget what he made. What's like that to remind him? Back. Present. Where is it? The notebook page. Your work. Don't try to pretend you've forgotten. Sure, all you did was make a copy. But that copy might have destroyed the life of an innocent man. I'm responsible too, which is why I have to know. And you have to tell me. I knew it would be difficult to escape this. Then let's talk. Okay, back. Talk. The diary. Well then, ready to tell me about this work you did? It was unlike anything I had attempted before. guess it would be a little different from paintings. That is not what I mean. In all my previous work, it sufficed to create a copy. This wasn't a copy. The client gave me two things that day. The first was a sample page as reference. The second, a printed document I can only surmise was written by my clients. So you used the real writing as a reference to reproduce what the client wrote? Yes, as I said, it was my first job of that nature. So, who was your client? As I said in court, I do not know. Really? Even for such a suspicious request? If it was me, I'd want to know as much as I could about the requester. I never met them. Not personally, I... 1, 2. Ah, Psycholock, of course. Seems like you're still hiding something. Something about this work. Okay, we're not done here yet. We are now going to examine... See, there's no... Oops, let me press that. There's no buttons for these arrows down here. This desk? Maybe I'll just slide on over here for a closer look. Now we zoomed in, and then the tiny frame. That's an awfully small frame. What's that inside it? A stamp? Ah, please don't touch that. I'll get in trouble. That stamp belongs to Vera, you see. She always puts it somewhere she can see it. That's second volant. The Grammarise, isn't it? The post office issued that commemorative stamp last year, when the Grammarise were at the height of their popularity. Not anymore. Not that one of them has vanished off the face of the earth. Vera went to see one of their shows when she was quite small. She's been a dedicated fan ever since. She watched them every time they came on TV, until the end. I see. That stamp's quite hard to come by, I hear. Ugh, I still wonder how she got her hands on it. Remember to stamp added to the court record. I should have recorded this after having breakfast. Ugh. Okay, okay, we'll go back to talking. Now we're using the Magatama. You're hiding something. Let's hear it then. What are you hiding from me, Mr. Measham? I'm sorry, but I really don't know. Never met the client. True, when I asked the client's name, there were no psycholocks in sight. Regardless, you're hiding something. You have to be, otherwise it wouldn't make any sense. Why are you doing this to me? Well, I've made my stand. No backing down now. So, what's Mr. Measham hiding? The forger. I can pretty much piece together what it is from what you've said. Well, what is it then? You told me that what you knew about the client, and I couldn't see any psycholocks. Psycholocks? Is that some sort of asylum security or a new hairstyle, perhaps? Why does everyone think psycholocks? Even Miles Edgeworth thought psycholocks. But then they did show up, didn't they? Who was your client? As I said in court, I do not know. Really? Even for such a suspicious request? If it was me, I want to know as much as I could about the requester. I never met them. Not personally, Not personally. Those words triggered the psycholock. Again with the psycholocks. Now I really must know what they are. So you didn't meet with the clients. But someone else did. Maybe the real forger behind this evidence. Perhaps I'm hung up on this lock business. I'm afraid you've lost me. Yeah, well, I didn't come here to talk about psycholocks. As long as I come to the right conclusion, doesn't matter how I got there. And your conclusion is? The real forger behind this wasn't you, Mr. Measham. Poppycock. Don't know what you're talking about. That's my work, I tell you. Made here in my studio. Who else could it have been but me? That's the real question, isn't it? If the forger wasn't you, then I don't have many other people to choose from. The real forger at Juice Studio is... where is she? There. The real forger is your daughter, Vera Measham, isn't it? Ridiculous. My daughter's only 12 years old, Mr. Wright. I've always seen more wonderful landscapes, not surrealism. Nice comeback, but you're shaking in your boots. I've got you now. Only two people with access to the studio are you and your daughter. Psychologs tell me you're not the forger. This makes your daughter the only possibility. I feel very much on the verge of going psycholog myself. Take that. I won. Ha ha. Look successful. The diaries. I don't know how you knew, but you're right. The one who made this page was my daughter, Vera, not I. She's only 12, a genius you might call her. A precocious little girl outshining her father. There's been a lot of that going around recently. Let her play in the studio and she watched me. She taught herself in that way. The drafting tools and analytical devices I bought when they became necessary. They're my little girl's playthings now. Ah, do I detect a bit of fatherly pride? So Vera was the one who made this page. Would she know who the client was then? Actually, the client came once. Here, to the studio. What? Why didn't you say so sooner? But their face was covered, and they did not want to talk to me. So they talked to your daughter? I will speak only with the artist, the client told me. That little girl might know something about him. Your daughter. Okay, what do I do now? Maybe I should talk to her father a bit more. Or is it time to turn my attention to Vera? Talk to Vera. Mr. Measham, I have a request. Let me guess. You'd like to speak with my daughter. Can I? My daughter has never been one to talk to strangers. She's quite shy, extremely so actually. With only one exception. Which was, oddly enough, it was that client. I left the studio while they talked. I returned when they had finished, and she was laughing. It was the first time I'd seen anything of the sort. Please let me speak with her. Alright. Uh-oh, this could be tough. What do I do? What do I do? What do I do? I present to her the stamp. And then there's... apparently, and then there's this. My stamp? Hey, she spoke. She could talk. I guess it's supposed to be that you attempt to talk to her first, and she doesn't say anything. The guy just told me to just go straight to presenting the stamp. Yeah, so this stamp, how can I keep her talking? Great magicians, aren't they? Isn't True Grammar amazing? Huh? Yes? Oh, I especially like those two, Zack and Valant. I mean, they're just so magical. Aren't they, aren't they? Yeah, whenever I go to one of their shows, I'm like, whoa, magic, you know? Me too, me too. I love them, they're so cool. It's like magic, yeah. Alright, she's talking. Not saying much, but it's a start. I went and saw them with Father the other day. The opening ceremony at the Grandmire Museum of Magic. Grandmire Museum? They have one of those? I guess it makes sense now that they have their own commemorative stamp. So, have you been to one of their shows? Just once when I was little, with Father. The Grandmires on stage, it was like a dream. Disappearing, reappearing, cutting apart, putting back together, they do it all. Yeah, maybe you can keep telling me stuff like this. You know, about Zack and Valant maybe? Oh, sure. Alright, better get asking before she changes her mind. Okay, got a lot of talking to do with Vera now. Vera? I don't go outside much. I like to paint in here. Why don't you like the outside? There's bad people out there, oh god, I can so relate. Well, true, but there are lots of good people too. Actually, I should tell you. She was almost kidnapped once. Oh god, I can't relate to that. Kidnapped? Since then, she's been... well, you can see for yourself. She refuses to leave the house. I see. Wait, but that doesn't make sense. She said she went to the Grandmire Museum. With you, in fact. Ah, yes, actually, she was quite insistent on it, much to my surprise. That was the first and last time she expressed such a desire to me. That person gave me a good luck charm. A good luck charm? For when I absolutely had to go outside. Yes, apparently she received something. A gift. From that client, actually. She won't tell me what it was. Father, I told you to keep that a secret. From that client, huh? This I have to hear about. Okay, let's go straight to the forgeries though. So your father tells me you're good at painting all sorts of things. I really like painting, a lot. Father is always very happy when I paint them exactly the same. So, you did this too? Oh yes, that was my first job. Your first? All I used to do was paint the same thing I saw. But this was totally different. The pen slips and the way the writer held the pen and the pressure on the nib. I had to use a microscope and analyse it on the computer. She seems happy. Odd, her work was the last nail in the Grandma coffin. Guess no one told her. Aw, poor girl. True Grandma stamp. They're the best in the world! Huh? Oh, you mean True Grandma? Of course! Father gave it to me. Your father? But I asked him about it. He didn't know how you got it. Oh, I guess I just took it. Yeah. Took it? Father got a letter from that person. That person? You mean that letter was from the client? Oh, we talked about the grandmas forever that day. I'm sure that's why I was sent that stamp. I didn't want to just send it back, so I took it. They're a sneaky one, this client. So they were trying to get on her good side. Remember to stamp updated in the Concord. And the last one, the client. So you met the person that asked you to do this job. And you talked with them. What's this about a good luck charm you received? I can't talk about it. Huh? If I do it won't work anymore. That's what I was told. Yeah, but I really have to know. Oh, god damn it. 1, 2. Right, time to do some psyche unlocking. Well, not yet. We have to go back. We end search. We have to go back. Event lobby number 2, and we're going to unlock this psyche lock with Mike here. Just updating my guide. Okay, talk. And Magatama. The disappearing trick. Okay, Mr. Meekins. What do you know? Spit it out. Hey, who was with the atmosphere in here all of a sudden? You know something, and I'm going to find out what. Zach Gramray vanished from this room. How did he do it? How, sir? Well, sir, I can't say as I... Sir, why are you so nervous if you aren't hiding something? Well, sir, you see, at the time, sir, I was here and... Listen, it was impossible. What could such a little girl possibly do anyway? What did you just say? Sir, did I just say something, sir? No, you screamed it through that megaphone of yours. There was someone else in the room, wasn't there? So I'm going to have to invoke my right to remain in a state of not talking. It's okay, Meekins. You don't have to tell me who Zach's accomplice was. I know who was here in this room that day. It's pretty freaking obvious. True sea enigma. Sir! Never seen that girl until just the other day. Mr. Meekins, I'm not buying it. Is that a chicken noise? Sir, that day, she was here, in the room, sir. But he wasn't. You mean you chased her into this room, not him? So in my days as police officer, literally days, I learned a thing or two. Okay, just one thing, but it was how not to mistake a girl for a 7-foot tall magician. 7 feet? Zach isn't that tall, is he? Maybe with the hat. You have a point. I find it hard to imagine that anyone would mistake a little girl for Zach Gramray. But you saw something. And therein lies the trick. I think you know what it was, Mr. Meekins. Tell me, does this trick look familiar? Where is it? Where is he? The amazing Mr. Hat! What's that? That girl's favourite trick, the amazing Mr. Hat. She uses it in her show down at the Wonder Bar. Have you been to the Wonder Bar? So... It wasn't a walking dream, was it, sir? Did you say walking or waking? I don't know if I read that wrong, or it was just wrong. Come again? That night on stage I saw a vision, except it wasn't a vision. It was a hat. An amazing Mr. Hat. He really exists. Unlock successful. The vanishing trick. Remember it clearly, though the details are a little vague. Zach Gramray exited the courtroom. I gave chase and cornered him in the corner room, sir. Zach Gramray, don't even think you can escape Meekins. Down on your hands, fall on your head. Hello? Something the matter, mister? No, that is... Sir, I'm currently chasing a suspect, sir. Zach Gramrai, do you know him? Oh, I love Zach Gramrai. His magic is the best. I'm his biggest fan. I see, that's why you're wearing that costume you're wearing. Anyway, that very same Zach came into this room. But no one's been in here except me. But he has to be in here somewhere. Under the sofa, in the trash can, behind the painting, under the rug. So, Trucy was his accomplice. Imagine my astonished surprise when 1 week later, I just happened to walk into a bar and see him! Mr. Hat! I couldn't believe my own eyes. For a while I thought it had all been a long dream. A dream that lasted a week? But it wasn't the magician who disappeared, it was Mr. Hat. The trick vanishes. Though it seems complex, what really happened that day was quite simple. You were standing by the door and out came Zach. But that wasn't all. Another person got in on the act and she was standing in front of lobby number 2. Along with Mr. Hat. Ah, and that's the beauty of it, isn't it? So, while you were standing in shock and amazement, the magician rounds the corner. And most likely runs through the closest door into lobby number 1. This is where you come in. You turn the corner in rather lukewarm pursuit, and at that very moment, Trucy runs into lobby number 2. Then all she has to do is tuck away the amazing Mr. Hat. Sir, I only lost sight of him for the briefest of moments. Then I saw that cape, Zach Gramrai's red cape, fluttering like a cape. I was saying red, it's pink. It's a lightish red. Astounding, sir. All my days of posing queries and making inquiries and chasing quarries wasted. It was as if I could see them melting away like an ice cream cone left by the side of the road to die! Or the scattered remains of a messily eaten chocolate parfait! Such sweet sorrows. I'm sorry. I had no idea how much you'd suffered on account of this case. It's an honour, sir. I've apologised to people many, many times, sometimes more than once. But this is the first time anyone's ever apologised to me! Actually, about that girl. I'm sort of her guardian now. Is that so? Sir, you should know that I have no ill feelings whatsoever in my harbour. Okay. I let the defendant escape, that's the stone cold truth. Just another step on my way from singing the blues to wearing the blues. Someday, sir, I'll be standing side by side with the great Detective Gumshoe! Or Guamshoe. Guamshoe! Mr. Meekins, this is a free ticket to the show at the Wonder Bar. If you want. It's an honour, sir. Sir, I can't count the number of things I've had taken from me, sir. But no one's ever given me anything for free! Right, I'll see you in court next time then, sir. I look forward to it. Bye, Meekins! All eyes were on Zach Gramrai that day in court until his mysterious disappearance. A part of the mystery has been revealed, but the magician remained out of sight. It would be 7 years before I met him again. And that is another one done. Oh! Ah! We switched over to the present day now. Let's go to the Bosch Ball Club where, like he said, he didn't meet Zach until 7 years later. Present day Bosch Ball Club. Oh, what are you doing here? I'll be taking my leave now. Still have some work to do back at the office. Then I guess I'll go back to my piano. To be honest, it's better than when you aren't playing. This frigid culinary dungeon almost feels comfortable. Later then. 2 hours left on my shift. Wonder if we'll get any customers tonight. Do you know who I am? Who I am? No, but if you hum it, I can play it. That's just a dad joke right there. Just kidding, I don't do requests. How about a different sort of request? You see, I play cards. Oh, a customer. I was just hoping someone would come in and save me from a night at the Keys. I seek a true competition. I've heard the Bosch Ball Club is the place for this. Now I see the rumour is true. And this is... Oh, Brushel. A friend of yours? Oh, don't mind me. I'm just a friendly neighbourhood newsman. There's a friendly neighbourhood everything, apparently. He will not be playing tonight. When his business is finished, I shall send him home. This competition will be between us, no others. The Right Talent Agency represents 2 artists, and I'm number 2. I play piano. I like how he's number 2. Because Truce is more talented than him, he has to be number 2 even though he's the grown-up. It's actually just a front for my real talent, which is playing poker. Don't ask me how I got started, I don't remember. But I'm good. Real good. Didn't take long for the rumours to get around. Go to the Bush Bowl Club if you want a real game. That guy's never lost. People don't come to hear me tickle the ivory, they come to watch me play cards. Is this a seedy poker club? No, it's a restaurant. We don't play for high stakes, there's no money involved. But real players carry cash and they're always thirsty. It's a handy source of income for the club owner. I guess they take a cut from what you win. Then let's compete. I'll take you to the room. The hideout, yes, but before we go... Yes? Allow me to introduce myself. My name is Shady Smith. Oh, and I'm Brushel, Spark Brushel, news reporter. Oh, I'm... No, Phoenix Wright. Huh? You must always look a man in the eye when you make your introductions. Still do not know who I am? Have we met? Oh, today in this courtroom, you cannot declare me guilty. What are you talking about? I'm talking about this. I knew you were going to say that. Oh, Trucy's father's dead because he died right at the beginning. Mr. Enigma. Yeah, he's gone. Go get him quick. Bailiff. Meekins. Close all the exits. Get him. On the double. Must be able to escape. Meekins, do your job. You can't be, but you're... Zach Gramrai? Yep, the reincarnation act of the century. Pity I have only an audience of 1. You? Zach Gramrai? This must be a bad dream. In a sense, this guy ruined my life. You there. Ah, Olga. Da? We will play soon. Ready the room. Da, I will be preparing the hideout for you. Are you really him? The Zach Gramrai? Now I am Shady Smith, remember this. How many years has it been now? 6? In exactly 3 days from now it will be 7. I caused you much inconvenience, I fear. Yeah, you could say that. Is she well? Trucy, I mean? She's fine. I've got her working already. Hope you don't mind. I hardly need to express my gratitude, but you have it. This is why I've come. That and to settle a matter of cards. By which you mean poker? Those eyes, he's serious. I despise losing above all else. And so I have decided that I will win tonight, no matter what it takes. I know this guy's type, and they're dangerous. Everything's about the competition, all else is secondary. Perhaps we should take this time to talk before we play. I know you have much to ask me. And are you? Oh, goddamn. I mean, it's kind of obvious who the guy is, but the meaning of the competition. We competed that day 7 years ago too. Oh yes, you must have been surprised. Called to the detention centre out of the blue. 2, 1. Showdown time. I lost. It's only a game of poker. A game I played for a long time, and only lost twice. Who was the first? The man I killed, of course. You choose your defense attorneys by playing poker. Some are hired, others fired. When you compete, you see a man's true nature. You know what I speak of. I know that you do. Trucy's power? Trucy? She's in a class of her own. For 7 years I played poker here at the Bush Bowl Club. And I've never lost once. I'm good, but not that good. I win because whenever there's a big game I bring in Trucy. And she sends me signals. Daddy's got a good hand. You might have a chance if you act quick. Better call him soon. Can you tell me what a power is? Judging a person's thoughts by reading their reactions is a staple of performance magic. Those of Trucy's line possess far greater skill. Her line? Recall, you were the second man to whom I've lost. Magnifi Grammari. That was the first time I learned of this power, as you call it. Wait, so you're saying her power is genetic? It's just in the Grammari blood or something? Blood. Ooh. 1, 2, 3! I'm sorry, but it is not something told lightly to outsiders. And it is nothing you need to know at this time. Some kind of Grammari secret then? Fine. About Trucy. She's 15 this year. She's still trying her best to follow in your footsteps, you know. I see. When I planned my disappearing act, it was the thought of her alone that gave me pause. Wait, you were planning on vanishing from the get-go? Yep, and for that I must apologise. However, I could not be found guilty that day. Because of this. This? Transferal of rights. You see the signature? Transferal? That's Magnifi Grammari's signature, isn't it? I hereby give all rights to the secret staging and performance of my magic to the recipient named below. And the recipient's name is you, Zach Grammari. Yep, it is I. Wait, this page looks torn. You recall the diary, yes? First, take a close look at this diary. Note that a page has clearly been ripped out. As it just so happens, I have here what I believe to be the missing page. But wait, let me see that. How could I forget? That scrap of paper lost me my attorney's badge. This is the real page that was torn from the book. Magnifi gave it to me that night. You could have told me this earlier, like 7 years earlier. Once again, I must apologise. It was all I could do to prepare for my escape from that courtroom. Transferal of rights. The greatest of Magnifi Grammari's illusions are true art. As such, they are well protected by this document. Only its bearer may perform his illusions on stage. Sounds like a pretty important thing to have if you're his disciple. As the rightful heir to his art, I too wanted a rightful heir. Rightful? I'm sure you know who I chose as my successor. Your daughter. That is why I have risked all to come here tonight. Brushel. Sir. Ah, here you go. What's this? A letter passing the rights I have inherited to Trucy. I would have you sign here as a witness. But I'm not a lawyer anymore. And you need a public notary, besides. I may not look it, but I'm a certified notary. You are? By day I wear a notary's glasses and hunt for news. Also by day I wear a reporter's glasses and notarize. When I take off the glasses, I can't see very well. Your signature, please. This is the first reason I have come here tonight. Transferal of rights added to the court record. Ah, I finally figured it out. Now I know why you've come out of hiding only now. It's been 7 years, you said. Precisely. Oh, 7 years. There's a law that covers your situation. After 7 years, missing persons are considered to be legally deceased. So if someone was to vanish from the face of the earth 7 years ago, they would lose all rights as a living person after 7 years from that day. Not to mention all of their possessions. Exactly, which is why I'm here. I risk showing my face in public for the sake of this document. Before my 7 years are up. You might say I am securing my daughter's inheritance. But do you really need this document? Wouldn't Trucy inherit your estate automatically? Not in this case, I'm afraid. This case? Yep, I received the performance rights from Magnifi Grammari. However, this was done in secret without witnesses. Before Magnifi died, 2 potential successors to his repertoire were named. Myself, Zach Grammari, and Voltaic Grammari. Not Trucy. I see, so you do need this document. I've known Brushel since before I vanished. He's a man I trust. Now, only 3 know of my rebirth. I took the liberty of looking into Trucy's background, and found you had no other close kin. Is as you say. Okay, not gonna learn about the mother then, or anything. Just kinda hoping he'd, say something about the mother at this point, but no. I know everyone else, but Trucy's mother is a mystery. Okay, I think we're done. Oh no, we have to present the locket. Almost missed that. Present the locket, of course, because the picture of the mother inside of it. Maybe you'll talk then. This person in the photo is Trucy's mother. How'd you come by this? Trucy showed it to me. She said her mother was gone. Then it is so. Huh? She's gone. What more is there to say? What? I know. Whoa, you're still here. According to my in-depth research, Trucy's mother, Magnifi Gramrai's only daughter, end quote. What? Magnifi's daughter? Is that true, Mr. Zack? Russell, you say too much. Whoa, am I the bad guy? Why? Zack decked him. In any case, Mr. Wright, this discussion is over. Blassa Gramrai, she's the most mysterious of the whole lot. I need to gather me some more evidence, clearly. Well, the prelude may have been longer than the main attraction. Shall we begin our game? My final competition? You do not know how right you are. Final? Why? As you said, I've come out of hiding today to make this document legally binding. Once that is done, I shall slip once more underground. Again, you don't know how right you are. Without seeing your daughter? It would be best if I did not. 7 years ago we played, 7 years ago I lost. I already lost to Magnifi, do not care to lose to another. I have heard that you never lose. It's just a rumour. Yep, for it is impossible to never lose, unless one has an ace up one's sleeve. Oh, okay. As a magician, it causes me no end of irritation. To think a mere lawyer might be out there pulling the wool over so many eyes. Hey, I just signed a document for you. Maybe you could try lightening up. That was that, this is this. For my final competition, I will destroy your perfect record, Phoenix Wright. This will be my final performance. You are warned. This guy's beyond serious. So much for a fun evening of cards. Bushel, you may leave. Ah, but it's your last game. I mean, what a scoop. I punch, and I punch, but still it is not enough. I just remembered a funeral. A future, a prior engagement. I don't know why I said funeral. He's gonna have a funeral, the other guy. Doodles, gentlemen. Oh, and nice meeting you, Piano Man. Then let us begin. Dealer. Da. You'll be witness to our competition. Da. It is honour for me. Why haven't I seen her around here before? Ah, that reminds me. I saw a familiar face as I entered this restaurant. He did not seem to notice me, however. Gavin, I believe was his name. Yeah, you know him. After a fashion. Listen, Phoenix Wright. One can learn much from a true competition. Remember this. No, just remember this. The Gramrai power. I was close to understanding it, but I needed more. And I knew where to get it. Trucy's mother. I need to meet that reporter again, that was clear. And one other thing. From the moment my final competition with Zack began that night, a name was running through my head. The name of a man now in prison. A name Zack Gramrai knew, but how and why? That should be that one completed, I think. Oops, I almost deleted too much. No, that's not completed, because oh no, because you still have the Psycholox. Yeah, I just remembered. Just amending my guide here. So yeah, we've got to go now to Solitary Cell 13. There's still a lot to do. We're at an hour. There's still so much to do. Present day, Central Prison, Solitary Cell 13. Oh, I'm getting tangled in my headphone wires. Oh, you. Well, isn't this an unexpected surprise? What errand brings you down to my cramped confines? Gavin. Is this your idea of revenge, Phoenix Wright? Revenge for the events that took away your attorney's badge 7 years ago? My past is like my logic, straight and true. Nothing's changed. All I did was point the finger of justice in the proper direction. Fine. I'm glad we could have this little tete-a-tete, right? You look well, Phoenix Wright. You too, Gavin. Ah, let's talk with this guy. Gavin's murder. Life has been full of surprises for both of us. I've no doubt you never expected to lose that attorney's badge of yours. And I'll bet you never expected to wind up here. Shady Smith was the name of the man you killed. Did you know who he really was? Who he was? Zach Gramrai. You know, the defendant. I remember him, of course. But you say Smith was Zach? Impossible. Don't even try to tell me it was a coincidence. What did I just say? Life is full of surprises, don't you think? After that trial, you were arrested and found guilty. But your motive was never made clear. A mistake I plan to remedy. You're not an attorney anymore, Phoenix Wright. What possible conclusion do you think this investigation of yours can lead to? I killed a man named Smith with a bottle because I am an evil human being. Isn't that enough? Not for me, it isn't. I need to know why you did it, Gavin. 7-year-old case. You recall that case 7 years ago? Ah yes, the trial where Zach Gramrai pulled his famous vanishing act. My brother won his fair share of praise and adoration for that trial, as I recall. Genius prosecutor reveals crooked attorney, was it? That was when I met you, wasn't it? Was it now? The Bar Association Review Board voted unanimously for the strictest punishment. Unanimous, save for one dissenting opinion. Yours. It was my brother who was responsible for putting you in that position after all. For 7 years we've been friends, and yet I still don't understand you. But right, your friendship towards me was never pure. You suspected me then as you still do now, don't you? Honestly, right now, I'm not sure what I think. Reason for murder. You didn't just brain a guy with a juice bottle for no reason. Tell me why you did it. Persistent, aren't you? I came here because I remembered something. The night of our game. Zach Gramrai mentioned your name, Gavin. Oh, that reminds me. I saw a familiar face as I entered this restaurant. He did not seem to notice me, however. Gavin, I believe was his name. After that, he was killed, and I asked you to help me. Because I remembered your kindness back when everyone had turned on me. He seemed to be in a bit of trouble. Something like that. Dead. Someone hit him hard. Me? Please. The cops should be here in a minute. I froze for a second then. I'm in your hands, should it come to that. I have to know. Why did you kill Shady Smith? No, Zach Gramrai. Ugh. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Whoa. I've never seen psychologs like these. Dark, cold, full of despair. Can I even unlock these things? Something wrong, right? No, it's nothing. You shouldn't push yourself so hard. Life is to be taken easy, you know. He's doing his nails. Okay, we examine some things now. What am I looking at here? Nail polish bottle on the dresser. Okay, I'm assuming it means this hand thing. You're thinking, what self-respecting man would use nail polish? Not really. I know appearances are a big thing with you. You know what I say? One cannot live a beautiful life without beautiful nails. First-rated all things, except nothing less. That certainly does look like first-rate nail polish. Like the sparkly bottle. It's crystal. If you're so drawn to it, please have one. It's on me. Nail polish slipped into pockets. Okay, and then this yellow envelope. Here, if I can get it onto it. There we go. The envelope has been bothering me since I came in here. It's not nice to peek at other people's mail. You get mail here in jail? Mail in jail. That I do, though they read it first apparently. Still, I am allowed the pleasure of correspondence. Packages and the like are a different matter, however. Looks like sneaking a peek is out of the question. And we are done here. End search. Now we need to go back into the past. And we need to go to Drew's studio. We need to have a chat. And Magatama time. Okay. client. You seem to trust this client quite a lot, in fact. Because they gave you this stamp. No, that's not why. Listen to me. It's my problem. The problem that keeps her inside all the time. Don't go outside if you don't want to. That's what they told me. But when I absolutely have to go out, all I had to do was use a good luck charm. A good luck charm that your client gave you. I think I know what your client might have given you, actually. Is this your good luck charm? The thing we just received from Gavin. This was what they gave you, wasn't it? Ah! The same bottle's over there on your desk. Your good luck charm, right? I heard once, cosmetics were once thought to ward off evil. This is a magic bottle. It has the power. Of course it does. I'll just refrain from commenting any more on that one. I think I know who gave you that bottle, actually. The one who asked you to do this job. Was this the client? Christoph. He's 25. Did that just say he's 25? He's the same age as me. Hold on. No. Hold on. How is he 25? He looks like he's in his 30s. He's the same age as me. And he's in prison for murder. Goddamn. Anyway, sorry. This man is a friend of mine. Know him? His name is Christoph Gavin. He's a lawyer, actually. I promised. I promised not to tell. Well, you're going to tell now. Unlock successful. The client. I'm sorry, I can't talk about the client. I promised. And if I break my promise, the spell won't work. I don't need the name anymore, I've got my answer. You're pretty confident in this charm, then? I think they might be the devil. Huh? Or maybe an angel. What do you mean? I saw it, or I think I saw it, when they gave me this. I saw the devil's face. Are you saying the client's face looked like the devil's? No, the client was gentle, with a gentle smile. So where'd you see this devil, then? It was so quick, I don't remember well. But that's when I knew that person wasn't like other people. That's why I believe in my good luck charm. Not sure what this devil she saw was, but it's pretty clear that Christoph Gavin has her charmed. Well, I think that's all. I'll be leaving now. I am sorry for what happened. If you want to apologise, try my client, said Grammar. Did I do something bad? What makes you think that? Your eyes, they're sad, very sad. I'll put on my smile next time I come, promise. I hope to see you smile then too, Vera. Oh, okay. Take care. Thinking back on my first encounter with the young forger, I witnessed something of vital importance that day. Of course, by the time I realised it, it was already too late. And that's another one done. Okay. So now we've got to go back to the detention centre, and then that'll be everything in the past done. And then we've still got everything to do in the present. Oh, Christ, on a bike. Okay. Detention centre. Talk. Hit the Magatama, and we're in. Oh, 4 of them. Shake up his sleeve. Okay. I'm flying by the seat of my pants on this one. There must be a path leading from the evidence to the truth. And that's what I'm going to find. So for someone to take a life, even one not long for this world, that's asking someone to commit murder. Yep, our mentor was fond of dramatic moves and dramatic finales. And he got his wish. His life was taken. What weakness could be so powerful as to coerce someone into committing murder? I guess it was a matter of life or death. Care to explain? Your troupe lived in a world of showmanship. The flashier the better. And flashy so often means danger, doesn't it? Let's make this as painless as possible. If you have proof of this danger, then show it. The pistol. Why, that's one of ours. Specially designed for your show, I gather. Single bullet, one shot. What are you suggesting? You're magicians, Mr. Wright, not murderers. I'm not crying murder, Mr. Valant. I'm crying something far more tragic. An accident. Zack and Volance, quick draw, shoot 'em. How long has it been since those shots were last heard? Was the shoot 'em cancelled because someone might get hurt? Of course, what other reason could there be? Well, it could have been cancelled because someone had already been hurt. Fascinating, my Faustian forging friend. Tell me, what can you prove with a single pistol? Well, tell me what would have happened if there had been an accident. What if one of your bullets took a life on stage? The performance of magic is not concerned with what-ifs. It's concerned with precision. Precisely whom do you claim we shot? Looks like I've chosen the right path. Let's just hope he walks it with me. Life was sacrificed so that the show might go on. And this shows who it was. It's the locket, right? Yep. But that's Zack Gramarye's wife and Trucy's mother. Like Magnifi Gramarye's daughter. Thalassa, I believe was the name. But how can you say this? How can you say she was struck by one of our bullets? Still in denial mode, eh? Thalassa was at the greatest risk of being shot, and this clearly shows just how much danger she was in. Wait, the stamp? Wait, let me just... Okay, I don't know why the stamp, but okay. True Gramarye's performances were very, very popular. So popular, they even made a commemorative stamp at the height of your fame. We were not merely the latest craze, we were an age, a golden age. It's all here on this stamp. There's Thalassa, yes? Trucy's mother is missing, I hear. What happened to her? I don't know! Part of his memory is still locked up. There is one thing you're failing to address. What's that? As you say, our troop was a world unto itself. If our leader Magnifi was so inclined, he could hide anything he wished with ease. But, Mr. Wright, then he would have hid a crime, making him an accomplice. Not a great foundation for blackmail. Well, that's got a point. If one of the troop members died in an accident and Magnifi covered it up, his innocence would come into question. Found the right address, Mr. Wright? I'm so close, there has to be something. About how Thalassa's death could affect Zack and Volance's relationship with Magnifi. I see in your eyes you still have something to say. How can you possibly prove more than you already have? I'll prove why Thalassa's accident tied your hands so completely. With evidence, without evidence. Oh, no, sorry. With evidence, with the person. I thought they said without evidence, with the person. It's going to take a little knowledge of the players to crack this one. The accidental death of Zack's wife tied both your hands. And this information proves why Magnifi held so much power over you. Ah! She was 33. Whereabouts currently unknown. It wasn't a question of who shot Thalassa. Thalassa herself was the problem. What do you mean? She was Zack Gramarye's wife, Trucy's mother, and Magnifi Gramarye's only daughter. There was a terrible accident, and the two of you killed your mentor's only daughter. If that wasn't the key to Magnifi's power over you, I don't know what was. It was an accident! Did it. Blackmail. There's no proof, none at all. But Thalassa went missing, and your mentor blackmailed both of his disciples. It doesn't take a genius to put one and one together. Ours was a complex family. You mean Troop Gramarye? The master, Magnifi Gramarye, his only daughter, and his two disciples. That does sound like a recipe for disaster, doesn't it? Do not be tempted into faulty flights of fancy. Yes, that was an accident. But that is all it was. An accident. Zack and Volance tour de force. The guns blaze, the bullets fly straight toward that beautiful body on stage. And then crash, zing, pow, into everything but her. Now that is magic. It happened one day when we were practicing, same trick with a new twist. And tragedy. Oh, that's for the whose bullet shot. Sorry, pardon me, stole Thalassa's life. We shall never know the answer. Thalassa disappeared from our lives, and Zack was bereft of his wife. Trucy lost her mother, and Magnifi his daughter. And that led to blackmail, I take it. And it is all part and parcel of the darkness that comes when the curtain falls. The darkness. Why did Magnifi Gramrai try to cover up the accident? It was his own daughter who died. All I can say is it was a critical time for Troop Gramrai. A passing of the torch from Magnifi to Zack and Valance. We all sacrificed so that it might be a success. Valance's death was the greatest sacrifice of all. Yet, even when her life was extinguished, her presence was not. What do you mean? In time, myself and Zack, found we could no longer oppose Magnifi's wishes. Magnifi forced us to perform his art for his benefit. I see, I guess I can understand. I mean, he did lose his only daughter. But do you not find cowardice in his actions? Huh? To decide to hide the truth of your own daughter's death is one thing, but then to hang that death as a guillotine above our heads? Things were dark behind the scenes in Troop Gramrai, that's for sure. Does Juicy know? She was not told, naturally. Who would want to know that their father might have taken their mother's life? True. I had not thought of that accident for a very long time. I'm sorry to dredge up old memories, but this has helped a lot. Not to find Magnifi's slayer, I should think. True. After that accident, there was one who came sniffing, quite persistently. A reporter? He called himself a newsman at the time. Often I spied him lurking about the dressing room doing his research. Do you happen to remember his name? What was his name? Sorry, I've forgotten. But in the course of his interviewing, he became quite close to my partner Zack. I liked him not. I see. His name I do not recall, but his scent, the cloying aroma of mint. Yes, whenever he smiled, which was far too often. I see, thanks for your help. It does no good to interfere with the past, Mr. Wright. You will not uncover answers, only wounds. I'm sorry. I had begun to notice a dark curtain hanging over Troop Gramrai, and I began to realise what I had to do. I had to protect Tracy from that darkness. The reporter he mentioned, the newsman, I never learned who that was at the time, though I've got a pretty good idea who it is now. That smile and the sickly sweet smell of mint, the last frost-thin thread connecting Zack Gramrai to this world. Sooner or later, I'd have to track him down. And that's another one done. That's all the past ones done. Now we just got to do the rest of the present ones. Drew Studio unlocks, the present day, and Sunshine Coliseum unlocks. And there might actually be some, trying to think, cameos in the Sunshine Coliseum. So, first place we've got to go is Drew Studio. Again, we're still not done. Gotta do all the present ones now. Present day, Drew Studio. Eh? Well, what do we have here? Remember me? Of course I remember you. Journalist meets ex-attorney in bar, end quote. Can I ask what you're doing here? Mr. Misha was poisoned and his daughter's... Oh yes, I know. Oh, how I know, yes. It's caused me no end of grief, to be honest. Journalist wishes he'd tracked down case just a little quicker, end quote. Were you on the trail of this case the whole time? Zack Gramrai was a good friend. Zack said something to that effect back at the Bosch Ball Club. What a character, what a man. If a little... no, a lot. No, extremely rough around the edges. Do you think I could ask you a few questions? Oh, you serious? I mean, I'm usually interviewer, not interviewee. Journalists ask questions, not other way around, end quote. Fine, shoot, I don't care. People have been asking me all sorts of things lately. God, I wish we didn't have to talk to this guy, he is kind of annoying. Family of forgers. It was tragic what happened to Drew Measham and his daughter. Forgery's a serious crime and they paid the price. You know what? Why is that not a quote? You know what really did them in, though, don't you? Yep, a forged diary page. The night I interviewed him, I found out something about Mr. Measham I hadn't known. What's that? You know, he always felt like he was being watched. Every day for 7 years, walls have ears, potatoes have eyes, end quote. Being watched, you mean he felt guilty? No, I'm not talking about feelings here. You know, I felt watched too. The whole time I've been on this case, no less. Journalist gets tingling sensation on back of neck, freaks out, end quote. Because you felt guilty? Why would I feel guilty? You felt like you were being watched, huh? Wonder what it all means. Oh, that changed. Paranoia. Drew Mishan felt like he was being watched. And you along with him. You sure it wasn't just nerves? Nerves? No, it's nothing so mundane. I stopped paying attention to my nerves a long time ago. And I felt it too. Journalist sure he is being watched, end quote. Don't you wonder why Zach Gramrai got rubbed out after 7 years? Right after coming into contact with me? He completely vanishes from that courtroom. Then for 7 years he talks to no one, not a soul. Just as the remaining time was almost up, he contacts me in order to have this made. And then he dies. Starting to put the pieces together, are we? And you were being watched this whole time. Maybe not just me, maybe you were too. Me? Finally, Zach Gramrai. I met Zach through that case, actually. You mean the shooting of Magnifi Gramrai? No, before that. It's not widely known. You mean the accident? During the quick draw shooting practice? My, you're so well informed. You should have seen me back then. I dug up quite the scoop. I wanted it all: money, fame, women, a little puppy, all for me. I was younger then, and my days and nights smelled of fresher mint than they do now. Roland Gramrai did mention one particularly nosy reporter. In fact, I was on close speaking terms with Magnifi Gramrai at the time. I knew his daughter too, of course. Talassa, was it? Really? Then Talassa disappeared, quite suddenly at that. And Magnifi wouldn't say a word about it. Yeah, my evil habit got the better of me. Journalist catches scent of a scoop, goes on feeding frenzy, end quote. Set up a one-on-one interview with Talassa's husband, see? Zach Gramrai. Something strange within the air over at Troop Gramrai in those days. The whole screw of mentor controlling disciples scene had died by then, I'm guessing. Talassa, she was part of it all, right? Come on, you can tell me, off the record. Sorry, I don't know. Anyway, I kept prying and eventually became friends with Zach. Sure, he punched me once or twice, or 5 times, but over time, he came to see me as his confidant. Voltaic Gramrai. He's been waiting this whole time, 7 years, eh? Waiting? For his big comeback, of course. A big revival of the Magnifi miracle. Of course it was all the dream. Because of this. The performance rights. In the absence of any official documents, he was golden. Who's to say the old man didn't give his rights to both Zach and Volant? So Volant waited until Zach died, legally at least. The time finally comes and Volant's like a kid on Christmas morning. He's getting ready for his show at the Sunshine Coliseum, you know. If that document sees the legal light of day, he's going to put a bit of a damper on the big show. He's a sorry one, that Voltaic Gramrai. Lost out to his partner at work and in love too. Love? It's the same old story, really. 2 disciples and their mentor's only daughter. Well, has 3 sides and all of them point to your love triangle. Ah, that is pretty classic. When you're in a performing troupe, that's your world. It's like family. One with an entire high school's worth of drama, intrigue, and backstabbing. And in the middle of all this, Talassa has Trucy. And then she dies. Need to find out more about this Talassa. So we are going to present the locket to him. Look at this. Mr. Brushel, do you know this person? Do I know that person? Of course. I was friends with Zach, after all. He hit me a few times, 5 times actually. But still, I'd never forget his wife. Talassa Gramrai. Magnifi Gramrai's only daughter. Do you think you could tell me more about her? Well, why the heck not? Okay, back to talking. Whoa, talk. Where is it? Right at the bottom. So, Talassa married Zach and had Trucy, see? It was her second marriage, actually. You mean she was divorced? Hadn't heard this one before. Not quite, her late husband was a performer too. He died in an accident on stage. Tragic, really. They'd only been married 1 year. I didn't know. Ah, but she was a beauty. I still carry a portrait photo of her around, you know. I've known Trucy since she was a little thing too. She got the better deal, really. She's got you for family, after all. What do you mean? Just reminiscing, you know. Talassa has another child besides Trucy, end quotes. What? But Trucy said she was an only child. Ah yes, this one she had with her previous husband. Her previous husband? Her first husband who died on stage? Yep, they had themselves a kid. Another orphan now. There's another one who slipped through the cracks. No idea where they are now. Thalassa had another child. Do you think I could borrow their photo? Sure, I can be generous on occasion, you know. Thalassa's portrait added to the got record. I won't need this locket anymore. Better return it to Trucy before I forget. People and events all get tangled together and get bigger and bigger. Don't you think? I was too busy wondering about bigger to listen to what you were saying. Sometimes you just gotta accept that you won't be able to untangle it all, I think. Maybe so, but still. I have to do what I can. And I have to tell what I find to those who come next. Next, you say? I'm not the one who will close the curtain on this little play. Apparently, that's not my role anymore. Magnifi. I was just wondering what Magnifi would think of all this. What do you mean? Haven't you seen it in Trucy? She's got his power. You mean how I can't lie to Trucy? It was the same with Magnifi. With his daughter, Thalassa. It's a strange thing. You think it's some Grammar gene? Magnifi told me once, back when Zack married Thalassa, he said Zack had good eyes. But not good like a Grammarai's eyes. Not that good. I wonder if Zack ever played a game of poker with his wife. Who knows what the Grammarai secret was? Maybe nobody, now that Zack's gone. Zack Grammarai. Ah, that's another one done. The plot had finally begun to reveal itself. It sprouted from a warp in the Grammarai fabric and grew, swallowing everything, wrapping itself around the Grammarai's power. Power which passed from Magnifi Grammarai to Thalassa to the next generation. And I would once again need to meet the one who bridged it all together. So that's a clue as where we got to go next. Back to the Bush Ball Club. Break this guy's psyche lock. Okay, here we go. God, this is taking forever. About an hour and a half in. Okay. 3 of them. The Grammarai secret. I have to know more about this power of Trucy's. It's like she can see right into people's minds. The first time I saw her do it, it blew mine. And after you were done having your mind blown, you took her to play cards with you. Gotta use the resources at hand, I always say. Yet I myself have no such power. But Trucy does. Why is that? Maybe Trucy got her power from her mother, Thalassa Grammarai. I will not speak of that. Thalassa is officially missing, correct? I think I know why you don't want to talk about her. The pistol. The 3 of you were a team once. Not that the entire country doesn't already know this. At your peak, you were the biggest stars around. Yet there's another story behind the fame, one that not many know. Thalassa lost her life during a rehearsal. To you and Valant Grammarai's bullets. It was an accident, it wasn't me! How could I shoot my dear Thalassa? I'm sure Valant would say the same thing. Why, it's just like another murder I might mention. Damn you! That's one gone. Her eyes. I love Thalassa's eyes. To think they could read my mind was frightening. Yet there was a warmth in them that felt like an embrace. She's dead, and Magnifi Grammarai has joined her. The only one with the power left now is Trucy? Mr. Zack? I do not know. I don't need any power to see through that one, buddy. So there's someone else, someone other than Trucy. Someone who inherited Thalassa's power. How would I know? My chances are slim. It would take a miracle to learn the truth. Maybe one has already occurred. There is someone else with the power, and I know who. Our very own Apollo Justice. This boy? His name is... I forget. Something weird. Who could he be? An attorney. Attorney? I noticed him when I went to visit a friend's law offices. So what are we to make of this, oh great ex-attorney? You can show me pictures of strange boys all you like, that just sounds weird. But you could at least say something like, I'm this boy. I could just laugh. Perhaps you wouldn't laugh if you knew the facts. This might not be 100% proof, but it's close. There's a link between this boy and Thalassa. Actually, it's more of a ring. A ring? Perhaps this will refresh your memory. I just so happen to have evidence showing this missing link. What am I presenting here? Oh, the portrait. Oh, is she wearing it? Hold on. Oh, yeah, the bracelets. She's wearing the bracelets. Actually, I know something. Your marriage to Thalassa was her second. How did you know this? Her first husband, he died a year after they were wed, yes? He was a performer. They met when he joined us Grandma's as a guest in our show. After Thalassa wed him, she left the troupe for a while. And you say she had a child then? I have a photograph of her here. I couldn't help notice what she was wearing when I first saw this. Those bracelets stand out. They're a Grandma family heirloom. This boy wears a bracelet just like the ones in the picture. What? So, that's why. Why what, Mrs. Ack? I took this photograph of Thalassa before she left us. When she returned, she wore only one bracelet. But I know where that other one went. She gave it to this boy, her son. Dun dun dun. Unlock successful. The Grandma's secret. This strange power. I myself do not know from where it comes. Yet the fact is that it is passed down the Grandma line. It runs in their veins. What is it? I asked her, Thalassa once. This is what she told me. The power responds to tension in others. Tension? If she were to face a person and they became tense even slightly, then she would know, no matter how hard they tried to hide it from her. So she could see it. Not quite. This is the strangest part of it all. She wouldn't realise that she was subconsciously detecting this tension, without the use of a particular object, or in her case, objects. Objects. Wait. Were they something she wore? Yep, her bracelets. I admit the first time I saw one of those, I felt there was more to it than just fashion. What kind of power could a bracelet have? I've made a decision. I will tell you all I know. Consider it a gift. Yay! True Seed Apollo! Well, I hardly need you to tell me at this point, but those two are brother and sister, yes. Dun dun dun! And the brother too has the power of theirs. This power of theirs. So Trucy has an older brother. I wonder what will come of that. Mr. Wright, tonight after our game is done, I'll return to a life of hiding. Sort of. I would not see her live her life without knowing. I understand. I'll tell the two of them when the time is right. I am in your debt, once again. No kidding. What I want to know is how all this got to be so messed up. Bracelets. Those bracelets are made of a special alloy. It is said to expand and shrink very slightly in response to body warmth. So they're temperature sensitive or something. Yep. This is how they can shrink to the exact size of their wearer's wrist. And this is something to do with the power? What have I told you? The Grandma's power reacts to tension in others. When a Grandma senses tension, they too become tense. And this tension translates into minute contractions of the muscles. So minute they cannot sense it on their own. The muscles? Oh, so that's what the bracelets are for. With the bracelet on, one can sense these contractions. Because the bracelet is always a perfect fit. So when the person they're watching gets tense, the bracelet feels tighter on their wrist. Precisely. That alone doesn't really count as mind reading. I believe I understand how the process works from there. It's a simple question of eyesight. Eyesight? Guess that sounds simple enough. Eyesight. Have you ever heard of kinetic vision? Something about the ability to see moving objects with full clarity, right? I've heard of it before. They say athletes can see a moving ball like it was stopped if they focus. Oh, but it's not confined to sports alone. It all relies on the ability to focus. When we focus, we can see many things. The faintest twitch of the face and the meaning that lies behind it. Therein lies one of the secrets of magic. One must know the mind of a crowd before one may distract it. So basically what you're saying is, the Grandma's can see really well. For them, seeing is more than believing, it is knowing. Their power relies on eyesight combined with exceptional focus. Things are starting to come to focus for me too. Of course it is difficult to maintain such levels of focus for any length of time. But what if someone could tell you when to focus? Or something? Precisely. But wait, Teresa doesn't have any bracelets. You're talking about poker, yes? The timing of when to focus is so elementary, she probably does it without thinking. I doubt Teresa herself has realised this. That is all I know of things Grammari. Thank you, Mr. Zack. If this boy's bracelet is the real thing, then he will use it before long, thereby awakening his power. I'll keep that in mind. Well, shall we play a game? I've said so much. Let me say one more thing. I will tell you of that night. That night? The night my mentor, Magnifi Grammari, passed from this world to the next. There were 2 pistols and 2 letters sent. This was Magnifi's test. A test? In his last years, Magnifi Grammari worked us to the bone, no, to the pain. But that night, I could not shoot him. So I shot the clown's forehead instead. Is that the truth? This, it seems, was the correct answer. Take this, and give my art to you, Zack. What? It is thanks for playing along with my show. You shot well tonight, Zack. But I would not have minded dying by your hand. How could I shoot you? My mentor? Bah! I thought you might say that. If I went home without shooting anything, what would you have done then? Then of course, I would have given Volant his chance. And if I had shot you in the forehead instead, then it would be over. If you or Volant were to shoot me in the head, then I to the darkness would go and my art with me. A fitting end, don't you think? Yet this ending too gives me no cause for regret. I thank you, Zack. And I am sorry. I have done much that was wrong in my day. It seems to me that Magnifi wanted you to be a successor all along. That's why the time he gave you was earlier than Volant's. Perhaps, but it is not something we will ever know for sure now. I wonder, what is Volant up to these days? Waiting for you to die. If 7 years pass like this, the performance rights go to him. And now here I am, and his dream is ended. It's worse than that, actually. Public opinion's a fickle thing, you know? What? You don't mean to tell me they put the blame for our mentor's death on him? The trial ended when you vanished, Mr. Zack. There were even rumours that Volant had helped you pull it off. But that's madness! Well, it seems that before I can once again disappear from this world, I have one more act to perform. Isn't it odd that sorting out my life should prove so complicated? Even though I'm dead. Done. That night Zack Grammari was killed. He died as Shady Smith, a mysterious traveller with a secret past. But he left one thing behind before he parted. This. 7 years passed as Zack Grammari murdered my mentor. His confession, to use as I saw fit. Of course, he'd killed no one. This was his way of tying up loose ends with his old partner Volant Grammari. Zack's confession added the clock record. That's the thing, what's Volant's last name? Because it's not Grammari. Anyway, that's another one done, just 2 more left. I'm gonna update my guide here. Okay, we are so close to finishing. Okay, so I need to do Sunshine Coliseum here. I think we're gonna see a cameo in the background. I'm not sure. Oh yeah, I think down there in the bottom right, you can see someone in pink painting. Kind of guess who wears pink and paints. Present day, Sunshine Coliseum. Well, this is a blast from the distant past. Long time no see, Mr. Volant. 7 years has it been? Frankly, I didn't think I'd ever see you again. Actually, I came because there's something I want to ask you. I've spoken to the press, I have nothing more to say. I've spoken to a lot of people myself and come to some conclusions. But then I realised I needed to hear it from you. Okay, so chat. Magnifi Grammari. I have walked a difficult road these past 7 years. Because you couldn't perform Magnifi's repertoire? Do not be deceived. Volant's skill is the real deal. I do not require my mentor's hand-me-downs. No, it was my partner who showed me on my way. Is that Grammari? His rather well-performed disappearing act 7 years ago was the end. So I thought. Zach Gramrai murdered our mentor and fled to escape punishment for his crime. You said something to that effect 7 years ago, didn't you? Remember it as if 'twere only yesterday. God, speak English, man. Yeah, that was not the way of it in the end. For while he vanished, the suspicions upon my own person never did. His partner Zach vanished to protect him. That's what those thieving magpies of a press said. I had no idea. Yet that very same press comes to me now, feigning interest. They cover the greatest magic show in history as if it were a vaudevillian distraction. Here must I stand, smiling at them all. What am I, if not a player in some fiendish farce? I suggest it's because you never made it clear what happened. Magnifi's death is still a mystery to this day. Which is why I came here to get the answers from you. 1-2. I knew I'd be seeing these sooner or later. The audience has no business stepping upon the stage. They must be content to sit and stare at the spotlight. That sounds an awful lot like something I heard 7 years ago. But straight in with the Magatama though, because we have everything we need to know. Magnifi's death. Ask what you will, you'll get nothing from me. I'm as much a part of this affair as you are now. I have to know what happened. For 7 long years I have endured. Now finally the curtain lifts on my new golden age. All the miracles of our troop within my grasp. Sorry to do this, Valant, but right now I need answers. I think I'll start by dropping a bomb. That should shake things up. Valant, I wouldn't be so sure about those miracles. Not as long as I have this, which, where the hell is it? There it is, that's the one. And what might that be? I see it bears the Gramrai seal. I should have brought this to your attention sooner, but I didn't imagine you'd be planning your comeback quite so fast. What is this? A document showing the true recipient of the performer's rights to Magnifi's miracles. What? Zach Gramrai? He wrote this? What? He passed everything to his daughter? She was the Enigma. Actually, she's officially my daughter these days. Preposterous! Zach is gone! Vanished into the void! This is the genuine article. Zach was alive when he wrote this. Both myself and the notary can testify to this. Whoa! That's one. Why does fate toy with me so? Why must my life be lived in thrall to the dead? You're not the only one with that problem. But he shot Magnifi. Yes, it was Zach. It was. And then he left, and my career as a magician fell into darkness. Did you think there might be some way out of it? Say if you could prove Zach Gramrai shot Magnifi. Was that why you testified? Yes, my way out. It should have been my way out. Well, it might not be too late, Mr. Valant. All you need is a way to prove your case. Who really killed Magnifi Gramrai? Zach's confession. I believe I have the answer to your prayers right here. Zach Gramrai wrote one more thing before passing on. This. But this is a confession, in which he admits to the killing of Magnifi Gramrai. See? All according to your plan. I am a magician by trade. Deception is my life's work. I fool the audience, give them a fleeting dream. Yet, it seems the tables have turned. Now I am the audience, believing in the deceptions I have wrought upon myself. Zach wrote this right in front of me. After I explained your situation to him. Alaka. Oh my god! Okay, unlock successful. Magnifi Gramrai. You do know that this confession is nothing but lies. Yes, it's my opinion that Zach Gramrai killed no one. You must be thinking the truth is a simple matter of elimination. Two received instructions to kill, but if one is innocent, then the one who remains is guilty. That would be the logical conclusion, yes. So he managed to protect me, his partner. A stirring tale, 'tis true. Did you shoot Magnifi Gramrai in the forehead? Straight down to business. If I had and I told you, what would you do? Run to the police, perchance? Do as you will. There is nothing left for me now. It is true, after all. I have little talent. I needed my mentor Magnifi's repertoire. It was as if a little demon grabbed hold of me. I knew it. So Valant Gramrai did kill the great Magnifi. So sorry, Mr. Wright. But it was just I who shot my mentor. What? wasn't you, then who was it? There wasn't another disciple, was there? Another disciple, such as... I don't know. Nakken Talent Grab Ripper, maybe. Your wild fancies couldn't be further from the truth. Only Zack and Volant received those threatening letters. But there was another. One more person could have fired that pistol that night. I don't suppose you've figured it out by now? If it wasn't Zack or Volant who shot Magnifi, then it had to be the only other person at the scene, which means... Wait, you don't mean... Yep, the great Magnifi Gramrai himself. Suicide! So Magnifi Gramrai commits suicide. You find it hard to believe? To be honest, I hadn't even imagined it as a possibility. When I arrived that night, the old man was still alive. He appeared to be asleep. I could not shoot him, but when I turned and made to leave the room, the old man called out to me. So you spoke with Magnifi Gramrai? Yep, and this is why I knew what he had done. Magnifi transferred the rights to his repertoire to my partner Zack Gramrai, not me. I see. Then I guess I owe you an apology. I always thought you were the one who did it. You owe me no apology. Huh? My crime was, in a way, more serious than that of murder. What? Your crime? Is Volant Gramrai confessing something to me? What could be more serious than murder? Volant's crime. You see, I knew that 2 letters had been sent. There are no secrets between partners, it was easy to find out. That was when I understood Magnifi's plan. He wanted to die by one of your hands. Little did I expect it had anything to do with the rights to his repertoire. That was when I heard it. The little demon whispering inside my heart. The demon? Let me confess, I intended to shoot Magnifi. And I planned on framing my partner for the crime. But what? That night, I prepared something before going to Magnifi's hospital room. Which was... IV fluid, of course. I'd seen it on an earlier visit. If Zack did not shoot, I would do the deed. Then I would use the IV liquid to place the murder on his hands. That was my plan. But you didn't shoot him. I could not. The demon in my heart fled when the moment came. But then Magnifi called me back. I am sorry, Volant. I am giving my magic to Zack, not you. You still lack the draw he has. Please help him if you can. I left the room. And then I stopped. The shock of what I had just been told consumed me. That is when I heard that fateful gunshot. Magnifi Gramrai killing himself. Then the demon awoke anew within me. Zack killed him, he was the one. Frame him and the magic will be yours. I altered the scene of the suicide. I took the pistol from his hand, wiped off the prints. Then I used a syringe to add the IV liquid I brought. So in the end, things happened pretty much as planned. Magnifi died, and you framed Zack for his murder. As planned indeed. Of course, the outcome was somewhat different than I anticipated. Well, what do you think? Do you believe my story? Can it be believed truly? That was 7 years ago. I don't know what to believe, but... yes. I'm glad I heard it from you, Mr. Volant. Thank you. It is I who should be thanking you, Mr. Wright. Only when I had lost everything could I make my decision. You're going to turn yourself in? My partner may have vanished, but not so my guilt. As my guilt stays, all else begins to leave me. My friends, my performance rights, my magic. I've had enough of vanishing acts. I understand. I thought my life was ruled by a dead man. But I find I was wrong. For Zack Gramrai was alive. Well, not anymore. And now it occurs to me. What if he was not the only one who survived? What do you mean? You see, now that I think about it, I realise that we never saw proof of her demise. We never saw her body. Her? The mind races and the mouth flaps on. My apologies, forget this matter. I can only hope that the day will come when I again meet my partner Zack Gramrai. Then, I shall apologise for my terrible mistake. I'm glad we had this chance to talk. Thank you. Done! Zach Gramrai, Shady Smith, whichever name you prefer, he's no longer with us. The truth revealed in that trial was only a sliver, and the impenetrable darkness that remained has taken another life. I knew what I'd have to do to push back the darkness for good, and it would involve paying that man a visit. One last place, and then we're done! Solitary Cell 13. Here we go. Sorry, sir. Prisoner Christoph Gavin is currently occupied. I see. Do you know when he'll be finished? Well... Could you go find out? Certainly, sir. Please wait here a moment. My apologies to the guard, but there's something I need to see. Examine the envelope, which we didn't get a chance to look at. There it is, the yellow envelope. And the sender is Drew Measham. I was right. When I arrived at the studio, Mr. Measham was at his desk. He seemed to be writing a letter, but he quickly sealed the envelope. It was a yellow envelope. I heard it was left at the crime scene. If this is the last letter that Drew Measham wrote, then there's something I need to do. The last thing I need to do, in fact. Here goes. Let's see if this atroquinine spray finds anything. So, let me just... So this was Drew Measham's messenger of death. It was his stamp, alright, no mistaking it. His last letter was sent to Christoph Gavin. Request came, like you said it would, and they're looking into the case. It's right on my life, I won't tell them about you. Gotcha! Letter from Measham added to the court record. Finally, decisive evidence. What's this? A burglar in jail? Gavin! I didn't know you moonlighted in larceny, right? Gavin, there's something I have to ask you. Can I steal your stuff? The answer is no. My apologies, but there's not much I care to discuss. Vera Measham hasn't received her verdict yet. You follow me, Gavin? There are no known survivors of atroquinine poisoning, but it never hurts to hope. Okay, I'll be leaving now then. Right, wait. Yeah, Gavin? Would you mind leaving that letter? It's private. Oh, sorry. Forgot I had it. Many thanks. About 2 hours it took us. And there he had a camera hidden in the mouth of his badge. That's how we recorded all of that stuff and then put it into this game. We've now seen all the clues in this case. Clues I gathered over 7 long years. Now it is time. Every story has an ending. We've come to the final chapter, the final trial. Find the truth. You're the only ones who can. To be continued. Oh Christ, that took forever. And it better not, the recording better not mess up, like, you know, corrupt or anything, but oh my god. So there we go. That was the entirety of the Mason system part in almost 2 very long hours. Next time, we have one witness testimony, and then the game is done. Right, so thank you all for watching, and I shall see you all next time. Goodbye. Hey guys, thank you so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, be sure to leave a like and let me know what you thought in the comments below. If you decide to subscribe to the channel, that would be amazing, and ding that bell to be the first to hear about my new videos. Thanks again, and I shall see you all next time. Goodbye.